Tom. I am out here in the Kisatchie Hills Wilderness in Kisatchie National Forest, about to do the Turpentine Trail. And as you can see the sign behind me, it is off the Backbone Trail. I really don't know how long this trail is. I've done it I don't know how many times, but I've never taken a track, and if you look on different websites, there's no information about this trail. I'm thinking it's about 2 miles, 2.5 miles at the most. But I am going to do a GPS track this morning so I can get an accurate mileage. I think it's one of the more scenic trails in this little area. There's some nice hills with some really good campsites. That's where we camped last night. And I've already done most of the trail this morning to get here to this spur off the Backbone Trail to show you guys the whole entire trail and what it does have to offer. You're going to see some campsites along the trail. I don't recommend them. There's hills right before you get to the trailhead parking lot that are much better, and they're easy to get to. There's a side trail that you can go up, and I think it's some kind of old, either a multi-use trail. It's definitely not a logging trail because it goes up in the hills, but it's obviously not used now. This is a wilderness area. So come along the Backbone Trail here, and normally you would turn to your right to follow the trail to the parking lot, but you're going to come across this sign, say Turpentine Trail straight ahead. Take that trail. Nothing against. This is a good part of the Backbone Trail here. Definitely get into some hills, but if you have time, do this trail. It's definitely worth it. But today I'm going to record it as a separate trail, and yeah, see how it goes. I love this place. This is my favorite area to come hiking in Louisiana. It's the Kisatchie Hills Wilderness. You know, the Backbone Trail is definitely my favorite, including this trail, but Caroline Dorman Trail, which runs right into the Backbone Trail, is really good too. So, you know, we don't have a lot of backpacking opportunities in Louisiana. So if you connect the Backbone Trail with the Caroline Dorman Trail, you've got a good 17.5 mile trail. You know, it's good for a couple of nights. Do yo-yo or do it out and back. You know, you can stretch it out 2 or 3 days. So I'm really excited about trying to link up the sandstone multi-use trail. This is one of the campsites on the trail I was talking about. Don't stay here. Keep going maybe another mile. Come on, Ollie. Another mile and you'll be able to get up in the hills. Beautiful sunrises and sunsets. You can actually look out over Bayou Cypress and over the treetops. Get a really nice sunrise to have with your coffee in the morning. So like I was saying, the Sandstone Multi-Use Trail is closed to motorized vehicles between January and April, and it's a 30-mile loop. And I figured out that with a mile-long road walk from Bayou Kisatchie Campground, which is I think the western terminus for Caroline Dorman Trail, you can link up with it and make a pretty big loop. I'm guessing anywhere between 50 and, I mean, depending on how you do it, you can kind of do a figure 8 and make it a 60-mile trail. I'd probably just do one big loop and not have to cover the same ground. I don't like doing that. And just make it a 50-mile loop, which would really, I mean, that would be the longest trail that we would have in Louisiana. Make a good 4-day backpacking trip out of it. And it's in the wintertime, which is the best. Wintertime and early spring is the best times to go hiking out here. No bugs, no heat. It gets pretty cold, but if you prepare, you're good. So yeah, have a look at the trail and my dog. Alright, after about a quarter mile, you're going to come out of the woods, and you're going to stay pretty open for a little while. You can see we'll go back in another little pine grove, but you're not going to be in the woods long, and it opens up. Pretty good bit here. Of course, like always up here, you're going to find a lot of sand on the trail. All the main rocks up here are sandstone. That's what all this is built on. You can see I'm kind of slag packing a little bit. Brought this little summit pack with me. No sense in hiking all this way with all my camping gear. Got it stashed close to where we camped last night. I'm gonna pick it up before we get back to the trailhead. Looks like this garden spider got himself a good sized meal. I think that's a grasshopper. That's pretty cool. This is the beginning of fall, middle of October. And I'm doing this, so you'll get some really nice wildflowers blooming this time of year in the springtime. There are some wild azaleas, not as much as the wild azalea trail, of course, but there are some. These, I like these. I think these are black-eyed Susans. I'm gonna have to check into that when I get back. Alright, now we're getting our first glimpse of the hills. Now these hills, they run pretty much the rest of the trail. They'll be to your left. The trail is going to go up ahead. It's going to go up there and then cross over in front of the hills and then go along the right side of them. You can see it's still pretty open out here. This is where you're going to find a lot of good campsites. I've found, I think, at least 3 different ones that I've camped at. So the trail's going to keep going here, over here to the right. If you take this little spur trail, this goes all the way up the side on top of that hill, and then you'll run into that old multi-use trail. That's what I think it is. And there's going to be a campsite on this side of the hill, and you can camp there. Ollie's trying to go that way. That's how we got here this morning. Ollie. Anybody that hikes with a dog understands the struggle. All right, so we're at mile 1.1 and we're gonna take this little spur trail. You can see there's one that goes up that way. Never been up there, but I would imagine there's some good campsites. But I'm gonna show you guys where we camped last night, where I stashed my main backpack. Cool thing about this place is you can explore. I mean, you could come out here, you could spend 2 or 3 days just in this little area on this trail, just exploring these hills, these side trails. There's my backpack. And here's our campsite. Pretty decent. You probably got good level ground for 2 or 3 tents. Fire ring, you'll find these scattered all along the hills. And this is one of the hills I was talking about here. This is how we came up. And it drops down into a saddle, goes back up that other hill. So yeah, this is it. Alright, we're coming up on the end. You see the information board, the kiosk at the trailhead. Alright, so heading to the car. So yeah, once again, follow me on Instagram, Louisiana Hikes. Check out my website, louisianahikes.com. It's fairly new. I've only got a couple of blog posts up there so far. One of them's about a trip to Colorado that I did about a month ago. I'm gonna try to get more Louisiana trails. That's what I designed it for. We'll try to get those up on the website soon. Because really I want this to be a resource for people to be able to, that are interested in getting into backpacking, getting into hiking, to have one resource to go to find information about all these great trails that we do have. I know for me, when I first got into it, it was a struggle because I kept having to go to all these different forestry websites and, you know, all trails and every trail, and, you know, a lot of those aren't totally accurate. It's kind of like Wikipedia, they're user updated. So I wanted to have one clear deal where everybody could go and find information about all the trails that we have here in Louisiana and make it easy. So I'm gonna be doing that, updating yeah, on a regular basis, so check me out.